welcome to today's video on the She Talks Systems channel. I am so pleased to welcome you back for another video. My name is Nicola and I am the proud host of the She Talks Systems channel and also the owner of Nicola Melinda Consulting. So if you are new to this channel, a warm welcome. Be sure to hit subscribe and like this video and let me know if you are enjoying the content. So today's video is actually going to be a beginner's guide on using ClickUp. So a lot of business owners have been moving over to ClickUp lately and a lot more are learning about this platform. So this video is going to help you decide and understand the setup of ClickUp and actually decide if it is right for your business and your team. So I'm going to walk you through just some of the key features within ClickUp and try to help you understand some of the jargon that is used when you hear certain phrases within the ClickUp arena. I am here to make that all a bit more clear for you. So let's dive right into today's video. So as a breakdown, I am going to be walking you through some of the ClickUp terms that you will hear, and we'll also talk about the ClickUp hierarchy that you will no doubt seen on many different YouTube videos if you are doing your research. We're also going to look into the tasks, task lists and task statuses, how they all fit in together. And then we're going to look at your ClickUp views, templates and custom fields. So there's quite a bit that we're going to go through in today's video. Definitely stick around and I hope that this helps you decide if this is definitely for your business. Right, okay, so we are inside of my ClickUp test space, and this is essentially just a way to walk you through so you can understand and get a visual as to how ClickUp itself actually looks. So this is a very minimal workspace at the moment. As I said, it is a test. And so when you do create your workspace, the first thing you will want to understand is the differences between workspace, space, your folders and your lists. Those are the areas that you'll hear people talking about quite often. So your workspace is literally your overall workspace. So this as a whole is your overall workspace. That's what we mean. And then when we're looking at your spaces, these are where we start to break down your departments. So your spaces essentially become your internal departments. So as you can see, I have two spaces in place, but if I want to create a new space, so under this section here, spaces, we can create a new space, which is in this section. So creating a new space, as you can see, we can pull up a template from the ClickUp templates. So that is also an option, or you can create your space from scratch. So I'm just going to call it CEO Hub or HQ. Let's call it that. So I'm just going to hit next, and then you can choose whether you're going to color code it, whether you want it to match your brand, whether you want to have a set icon in place. That's really down to you. And then you can decide, is this a private space, as in it's just for yourself, or is this a workspace? So if this is a space that you will eventually share with your team, then keep it with the workspace. Otherwise, if it's just for yourself, you can keep it private. So hit next. And then now you can decide if there are going to be set statuses for this workspace. Now, my recommendation, I don't usually keep a set status point for the workspace overall, purely because as you build it out, you may have different statuses for each individual list. And I'll show you how that works in a moment. So essentially, I'll just keep this as normal and that's fine. And then you'll notice that you have options to click on or click off click apps. That's a mouthful, say that again. So you have various click apps that you can implement within this space, or you can switch on to use within this space. So these are just the standard ones that you can have, but you also have apps such as time estimates, sprints, if you use these within your teams, remapping subtask due dates, and you also have the option to add on more as well. So definitely take some time to work through all of these. I won't go through all of them in this video, but once you have decided on the click apps you want to use, then you want to think about the default views or the default settings for your views. So by default, your list view will most likely be the one you'll use. However, these are all of the different views that you can have within each task list. So it's important to just know again, are you going to use all of these views? Now, even if you don't click these on right away, you still can use these views later on down the line. So then, as you can see, we've created our space, and now we're just going to go ahead and open it up when we have our new space here. So within the hierarchy now, this is where we can start to really break things down within our workspace. So we've gone through what a workspace is, what our space is. Now we can actually go to the add button and create a folder. So our folder is another part of the hierarchy. So let's just call this a CEO folder. And again, it's going to have the lists in there. So we can create a list and we can say CEO task list, just so you can see that. These are the lists that we're going to have. So you can add in the list that you need. Once you click done, what you can do is then open up that folder. So now you can see that we have a CEO folder and also a CEO task list, which is super cool. So what we now have is the option to customize the list statuses. So as we've come through the hierarchy, you can see now that our space has now populated with a folder, populated with a task list. Now, you don't need to use folders. If you wish to just jump straight to a list, you can do that. We have a list right here, and the 3 dots are always our menu options. So this can essentially be just a folder free list. So I'll call it that for the sake of this training. A folder free list, and it has the same value or purpose as the list in the folder would as well. So it just means that it's housed differently. Now, what I will say is that you can't create a subfolder within a folder. So that's the only thing, to just bear that in mind. Now that we have our folder view, we can have our list view. And what you'll notice is that you can also customize folder statuses. So you can create actual statuses at the folder level. You can create statuses at the list level as well. So you've seen that you can create custom statuses at the space level, the folder level, and the list level. So the hierarchy starts to build out even just a bit more. So I'll try and keep this a little bit simple as we go through very quickly. But essentially, your statuses will matter the most within your list. So within your actual task list, depending on how you're using it and how you're structuring that out, you'll want to come across to your edit list status. Now, in this section, you have the option to use what's already there inside of ClickUp, or you can create a new template. So this list template is essentially going to be a way for you to decide how you want to track your tasks within this particular list. Okay, so then you can actually say, what are the active statuses? What are the done statuses? So what are the statuses that say that the task is actually done, but you still need to keep it open and in view? And what is the status that says it's complete, it's finished? So for this particular video, I will just put, let's put ready to start. And you can actually update the color. So I can go to change color, and I can do that on this as well. And perhaps I add another status that just says on hold. So this is a good one to have in place. And as you can see, you can customize these as you go. You might put another one in that says overdue. And let's put one that says finished. Now for the finished status, I might just change that color. So I know that I'm just going to change the color, and then I'm going to just drag it down into my done. So that is an example of a finished status or a done status. So that again is ClickUp wording and how you would understand what that means. So active statuses are the ones where your tasks are active. Done statuses are the status points where the task is complete to a point, and then closed statuses means that you no longer need it in view. So I'm just going to click here, save template, and that's my new template. And I'm also just going to hit save. So now you can see that my status has actually updated. So now we can actually put in a task. So I'm just going to put task 2, that's the number that I typed. And so at the top here, we're going to keep out, I'm going to cross that off because we've already decided what statuses we want in place. Now for any task where you have marked them as complete, when it comes out of view inside of ClickUp, you can at the top actually go to show closed, and it's going to tell me what complete tasks are in place. So this is a great way for me to just keep a quick eye on what's actually completed. And if it shouldn't have been completed, I can pop it back into an active status, and then I can hide the closed tasks. So again, I can update my statuses in this place. I can put on hold, and I can also mark my task as finished. So that pops it into the done status. So this is how you can really manage your tasks, task lists, and the statuses inside of ClickUp. If you want to add in a new task, you can do that in the list itself up above here. You can add in a brand new task. So you have a new task here. And essentially, it will pop that straight into your first active status. And then down below, you also have an option, like a menu option that says to create task. This is another way where you can create tasks inside of ClickUp. So again, you can say create a task. So you can add in the description in this area. You can also assign it. You can actually add in any subtasks or checklists and attachments while you're building this out. You can also set the due date. But what you can also do in this section is that you can also apply a template task. So I can load from a template. So if you have a template task in place, you can load directly from this bottom area here, and that will load your task up straight into this list for you. And then you can go into the task and make any updates. But if I was to just create a task, I can actually pull up some options. So I can create and open up that task. I can create that task and start another, or I can create and duplicate a task straight from this area. So those are some of the ways that you can create tasks inside of ClickUp. So another way that you can actually add in a task in ClickUp is that if you have a full list of tasks from a Google Doc or from your notes and you just want to literally drop them straight into ClickUp, I've actually selected some tasks just quickly here. What I'm going to do, I've done a Control-C, so I've copied those tasks, and I'm going to do a Control-V. So it brings up the option. It says multiple lines are detected. Do I want to create 3 separate tasks? I love this feature in ClickUp. It's so juicy. So I'm going to create 3 tasks. And there you have it. So essentially, it's assigned those tasks out to myself already, but it's populated the title of the task for me. So if you are in the habit of doing brain dump lists, you do to-do lists in your notes on your laptop or in your computer, and you just want to pull everything into ClickUp, or if you've actually done a team meeting and you have action points that just need to be put into your project management tool, this is an area where you will find it so useful. We've gone through the ClickUp terms, its hierarchy. We've looked at the tasks, how you can create tasks, the task list, and how it works with the statuses. So I want to talk to you about the ClickUp views and how they work. So at the top of every task list, you will notice you have views. Now, your views work on 2 levels. They work on the folder level as well as the list level. So if I was to actually open up another list, so let me just say, or in fact, let me move this. So I'm going to move this list to my CEO folder. And so now we have 2 lists within this folder. So if I click on the actual folder itself, it's going to pull up all of the tasks in that folder. So this is a way for me to actually see exactly everything that's going on in this one folder. Now I have at this option, I can add in a view. So I can have in a custom view. So if I click on the view, it pulls up all of the options. There are quite a few different options for me to look at. So we have the board view and the calendar view. These are the most popular. Then you have your Gantt view, timeline, box, table, mind map, workload. So you have a few different options. Now you can also add embed views. So your Google Sheets, Google Calendar, Airtable, whatever you like to pull in, you can do that. You can also pull in a form view as well from this area, and also a doc view or the chat if you do use ClickUp Chat. So you can see you've got quite a few different options. Now, if you do create a new view at the folder level, it will be seen at the folder level. If you do create a new view at the list level, then it will change up the views for that particular task list. So the way that you can create a new view in this section is you'll simply just select what you want to create. So if it's a document view, you want to be able to see a new document, then you can create that view within the specific list. If this is a document that you'll view on folder level, so if you're going to have numerous lists, perhaps this is a document that is a strategy document, or how you use this folder. If it's a client folder, how you're operating with that client. So you will decide what that document is, and then you can create that document view within the folder or the list. So you've got lots of different options here when it comes to the views. If you do want to use an embed view, then as you can see, ClickUp allows you to actually embed using a HTML. You can embed via a URL. So if you use Google Sheets or documents, you want to embed those into ClickUp, you absolutely can. And what's also really great is you can update these documents directly inside of this view. So if you use Airtable, for example, which I do within ClickUp personally, then you can always go in there and actually access that table and update it live and direct inside of ClickUp. So it works really well. So next, let's move on to the custom fields within ClickUp. So custom fields, for those of you who are new to using custom fields, perhaps you've not used them in previous project management tools, custom fields allow you to build out your list even more. So essentially, you can decide what information you want to see specifically, how you want to see information on your list view, and you can manipulate how you view the data through filtering and through how you group your tasks as well inside of ClickUp. So I'll cover these on a different video in the future. So drop a comment below if you do want to know more about filtered views and grouping your tasks. So with the custom fields, you have a little cross here where you can actually open up and it shows you all of the different options. So you essentially build out a custom fields library that you can use over and over again in your ClickUp workspace. Now, I will say you do need to be on the business plan in order to make best use out of the custom fields. ClickUp will allow you to use up to a certain amount on the free plan, and then you will want to upgrade after you've started to use the custom fields. But you will definitely feel the benefit of using these features. So you can see you have date options, drop-down options, labels for tagging. Those are really useful. You can add in progress options. So if you want to have an overview of how far along a task is, you can use this as a way to do that. Checkboxes, text boxes, emails, you can add in email addresses, you can upload files. You also can create formulas, which is great. So you get the idea. There are a lot of different options here. And as you get very creative with your workspace and start to think about the solutions that you need in your business, you can really customize your list according to their best needs. So according to the best needs of your particular task list. So if you're building out a database, for example, such as a CRM, you might want to use people, money to say how much the job is worth, email address. You might also want to use a phone number, a website for your prospective client. Perhaps you would also use a location, i.e. their address, if you keep those details on file. So those are just some ideas on how you can make use of the custom fields. So that was a really quick walkthrough. It was definitely a beginner's guide. Please drop a comment below and let me know if that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please do tag me and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. But I just wanted to offer an overview on ClickUp and really simplify it down as much as possible. ClickUp is a massive platform, and if you are just moving over or getting started with project management, I definitely advise that first of all, you plan out your structure from a company level, meaning that each space, as a rule of thumb, should be classed as your department, and then break that down into folders into the list. Keep things as simple as possible. The simpler, the better. It's a lot easier for you to refine your workspace as you go and as you get more familiar with ClickUp and its uses, but definitely start off simple and then build as you go. Next, I definitely recommend making use of the templates before you start to get deeper into the ClickUp world. Start to build out your templates, templated folders, lists, tasks. All of these can be created and saved within your template center inside of ClickUp. And this is a great way for you to duplicate your core projects and your recurring tasks as well. And then finally, make sure that you test out your workflow manually first before you start to make use of the ClickUp automations. Now, there are automations inside of ClickUp, and you can definitely go down the rabbit hole of automating everything you want to. But I would recommend starting to build things out, test your process manually, test how you work inside of ClickUp manually first. And then when you feel comfortable and you feel like you've gotten into the flow, your team know what they are doing, then you can start to incorporate more automations. So if you do have any final comments, please let me know. I would love to know how you guys enjoyed this video. I'm so glad that you stuck around, and I hope that this was of value for you. Please hit subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it and you want to know when I upload more content just like this. So until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon.